Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. This video came to be because I listened to an episode of the Wrestling Observer today, and then I ended up watching the TMZ true life story that aired on Fox Tuesday at 8 p.m. That was a heaping pile of trash. I just got done with that review and touched on this story, but it was not in that documentary. It was actually from Dave Meltzer's mouth, where he talked about the story of Hulk Hogan ending Brooke Hogan's singing career, her record deal, because of the Big Show's boxing career that Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan were trying to get off the ground. This story came out of Meltzer's mouth, and I could not believe it. Hulk Hogan is like my ultimate wrestling hero, but sometimes when you hear things about your hero, they just don't make sense, to the point of like, how does, like, there's no way in the world that I do not understand why Brooke Hogan wanted anything to do with her father. And it gives you like insight and like what it's like to be a father. And as a father, no way in the world I would ever see myself making that mistake. Everybody as a father, everybody as a man, everybody as a person on this earth is like trying to set themselves up for the foreseeable future. You're always trying to make money. You're always trying to make your money make more money. You're trying to find a way to be in a better situation than you are today. My truck runs fine, but would I like a new truck? Yeah. I mean, like, if YouTube started paying out like it used to for me, like in the early 2010s, like, I could see myself buying a new truck because of that. But never in the world would I set my daughter's back in the world by trying to get somebody else's career going that I am involved in. If you go back to the days of Big Show in WWE, there was a time period. It was before WrestleMania 24, because that's when he came back to fight Floyd Mayweather for WrestleMania 24. That match was actually supposed to be a tag match. It wasn't even supposed to be a singles match. But I can't remember if it was Oscar De La Hoya or if it was Rey Mysterio. So one of them got injured, and they weren't able to do the tag match. And I think it worked out better in the long run. But WWE, mostly Shane McMahon, saw how much money boxing was making and was trying to find a way to work that in to WWE to make it bigger. So that's how that got set up. But there was a time period when Big Show, he just stopped wrestling. His career, his contract ended in WWE, and I think it was more Big Show decided not to sign a new deal. He felt like he had done a long time in WWE as well as WCW. He wanted to take like a step back, and he has always been a friend of Hulk Hogan. He's always believed in Eric Bischoff, who has set him up in life. And they got into his ear and basically said at his size, he would make an excellent boxer. So what their plan was, it was to get Big Show a house in Miami, and then for him to start training with the best trainers in the world to pursue a boxing career. If you can remember, around this time, they set up a Hulk Hogan versus Big Show wrestling match. It was going to happen in Memphis. It was going to be like a huge, it was going to be a really big like indie show that was going to make a lot of money. I think that they ended up not covering this on Hogan's Knows Best. At some point, WWE ended up stepping in, and Big Show had to be removed from the match. I don't even really remember the reason why, if he was not under contract, but Jerry Lawler ended up being the one to sub in. But Hogan and Bischoff didn't want to put up their own money to get Big Show trained in boxing. They needed an investor to come in to sort of back this idea so they wouldn't have their own money invested in this game. So Hulk went to the biggest sucker he knew, which was Brooke Hogan's record contract manager, and basically was looking for $3 million. And the guy didn't want to put $3 million on the table to get Big Show going. So Hulk basically said that Brooke Hogan was on a contract for $750,000 a year, that he would not have to pay Brooke for 2 years, and to put that money into the $3 million that they were looking for. So they were now looking for 1.5, and the other 1.5 from Brooke would make 3, and the guy took him up on the offer. Because of the fact Brooke Hogan had made 2 albums at this time, they had really underperformed. This basically ended her singing career. She would not find a new label. She wouldn't find any more backing, and that's kind of like where she left off once Hogan Knows Best ended. So Hogan threw his own daughter under the bus to basically get money to train Big Show to train to box. And Big Show never even had a boxing match. I think they found out that Big Show was starting his training too long in life. You got to be thinking that he's already had a 10-year wrestling career. He really didn't have the speed to box. He had the size, but even you hit the biggest monster in a boxing match, who's really not trained, he's got to go down. And once he goes down one time, the circus is over. And Big Show ended up going back to WWE to have the match against Floyd Mayweather, and he pretty much wrestled there until WrestleMania 36. Maybe he had another Raw match against like Braun Strowman on the way to 37. But that's where his wrestling career ended, and then he ended up going to AEW. I don't know if he ever wrestled for AEW, but he's been the commentator and been doing as much as they can. I remember when he thought he was going to bring the Captain Insano character from Happy Gilmore's the golf movie, Billy Madison's the school movie, The Water Boy. Why can't I think of what the Water Boy's name is? But yeah, long old wrestling career. I don't know. That's a story that you hear about your hero that really shocked me. I couldn't believe that he would hey, don't worry about my daughter. Let's take care of Big Show. We got to get this boxing career off the ground in Miami. Makes no sense.